Mr. Hlungwani, thank you very much for your time. How are you doing?
Just like a fish in the water, jubilant. And how are you?
I'm good. I see you're a very busy man, meeting after meeting.
Yeah, meeting after meeting. Hey, football, when you retire, you still have a lot to do.
Yeah, talking about retirement, how has been the transition from being the man in the middle to now being in boardrooms, talking out, sitting in committees, chairing a committee? How has the transition been like?
It's been very good. 23 years of professional service, another 7 years of amateur. If you combine, there's massive experience and knowledge and expertise. 8 years of international football. So when you come into the next role, you are well informed of everything that is required to change football in the country. I've gone through all the transition in football, from the commission of inquiries, from the operation dribbles, from the change where referees became better in the country, where we got stipend every month. All that total experience is massive for me and is really helping in my new portfolio.
That is very good, because we couldn't allow that kind of experience to just go to waste and not benefit from it. Currently, you hold the role of the Gauteng's Provincial Referees Committee Chairman. So you chair the committee of referees in Gauteng, is that correct?
Yeah, it's the technical committee, because there's a chair for the whole committee, but there are other departments within. There's appointment, there's technical, there's review. So I'm on a technical, which deals with the development of referees in Gauteng for ABC Motsepe League, for Sasol League, for GDL. So all these referees, we have to look after their development from the province to the region and also to the LFAs.
And if you can just expand on that, on your role in terms of what exactly that you do on a day-to-day basis.
I will take you back to why Gauteng has gone down in the number of referees that are in the national panel now. Previously, how many referees were there? When I came into the panel in 1999, we had a number of Gauteng referees in the panel. Majority of the referees were from Gauteng, and most of them were teachers. Now we have more police officers. So now, if you look, the development of Gauteng referees by that time was very good. The standard was very high. Gauteng used to promote most referees, but now we have less than 5 referees in the national panel. Thando Nzanzeka, Joseph Makubo, Abraham Mashala, very few. So now we want to revive that for the province and say, how do we get more referees into the national panel? How do we feed the national panel with quality referees? So that is my role now, to ensure that from the regions we have structures. Now we have picked up that some regions have structures are refereeing. Some LFAs have structures are refereeing. So how do you expect that province or region to produce referees? I'll give you an example. If you take Heidelberg, we don't even have a single referee in the ABC Motsepe League. Midval, we don't even have a single referee from that area. I'm not sure. Tembisa, do we have one? I don't know. There's no one as far as I know. But then it's our job to say, you have identified these gaps. What are you doing? So one area that we have identified is some areas or some LFAs or some regions, there is no refereeing structure. 2, FIFA has said referees must be run by former referees. As you can see at national, Dr. Dende Jordan and his NEC, they've appointed Victor Gomez, and the whole NRC, National Referees Committee, comprises of former referees. Abu Jerome Damon, Enoch Molefe, Aresol Datus. You talk of quality referees in the country. People who have been in the World Cup, people who have been in higher competitions in Africa and the world. So now we want that to infiltrate down to our regions and the LFAs. If a region does not have former referees there, then we have a problem. As a province, we have to intervene before national comes in. So that will be our job, or that will be my first job, to say within the Provincial Referees Committee, let's go down and see how we can assist. And indeed, we have started now with, to ensure that all LFAs and all regions have proper structures.
Talking about structures, if you can just educate us, what structure do you then expect to have at a region, and what structure do you then expect to have at LFA level?
You need to have the chairman of referees in the region. You need to have a deputy chairperson. You need to have the head of technical. You need to have the head of examination. You need to have the head of review. If you don't have these 5 people in your region, in Gauteng, you don't have you are nowhere in developing referees, because that is the core. It's like having a head coach and assistant coach and your masseur, people who massage in your team. So if you don't have those people in your team, then where is your team going? They will be being whipped 7-0. So before they whip us 7-0 or they accuse our referees of incompetence, we need those structures in the regions. The same thing must go to the LFAs, where we need to have the chairman of referees in the LFA, where we need to have the deputy chairman of referees in the LFA, where we need to have the head of technical, the head of appointment, the head of review and examination, and so on and so on. So if we don't have those in your regional LFA, as the president or as the chairman of the LFAs, we will try and engage with you and say, Chairman, President, can we please correct things so that we can feed the national panel with highly educated referees. So that is where we're going now.
That is very interesting, and I'm liking this conversation, because we really don't know much about referees and the structures and so on. But to further understand, we then need to understand a young man or a young lady saying, one day I want to be a referee, I want to referee in the final of a World Cup. Where do they start, and what are the stages up until they get to a level where you've been accredited at PSL, CAF and FIFA level?
Yeah, thank you. It's a good one. I normally say we don't want microwave referees. You know, a microwave referee is a referee that you put, you know, when you want to cook eggs. Did you know that you can put eggs in the microwave and they will be okay? But in our culture, we know that eggs must go through the oil and the stove. But some people put them in the microwave and they get right, but are they good quality? I don't think so. So we don't need microwave referees. We need referees who have gone through proper channels of development. Right. What are these proper channels? A referee must start with the LFA. LFAs have got the developmental league, under 13, under 15, under 17, under 20. They play there. So if someone wants to join refereeing in Gauteng, Gauteng has got around 40-something LFAs, if I'm not mistaken. So now within those LFAs, in the 5 regions that we have in Gauteng, we have West Rand, we have Ekurhuleni, Sedibeng, Johannesburg, and also Tshwane. So all these 5 regions, they have LFAs under them. So if you stay in Garankuwa, there's an LFA there. If you stay in Heidelberg, there's a Lesedi SAFA there. So now you join there. When you join there, they need to have classes every Thursday or every Friday to educate referees. And then they promote at the end of the year. Referees must write examinations. They must do some practical session so that they are properly developed, not microwaved. Not microwave. So when they are properly developed, when they go and represent your LFA and your region, you will be proud to see their performance because they've been properly developed. And that is what is lacking in our country. Proper development of referees has not been properly coordinated. So we want to correct that.
Okay. And I think tomorrow you start a workshop for SAFA Gauteng of referees. I think it's part of that to ensure that we do away with the microwave.
Yeah.
We are properly developed.
We are so grateful to the Department of Sports and Recreation in Gauteng. They have sponsored this event or this course. When I started refereeing, there was one old man called Zakaria Musekle. That man knew the referee's chart by the heart and the head. He will quote law 1, law 2, law 3, up to law 17 without looking at the book, and even reading without looking at the book. So that's what we want to instill in our referees, whereby our referees must know the basics of the law. When we say law 1, the field of play, a referee must be able to tell us the field of play must be rectangular in shape. The maximum length of the field of play must be 130 yards. The minimum length of the field of play must be 100 yards. The minimum width of the field of play must be 90 meters. And that's the maximum width. The minimum width must be 45 meters. It should be from the head. You can see I'm not even reading Shangwari. Don't think it's in the head, because when I get in there, I need to, enforce the laws of the game. So now, we in this course, we are going to the basics to ensure that our referees from GDL, SASOL, and ABC Motsepe League get this foundation, so that when we promote them to the next level, we will be proud of them, because we will know that we have planted a seed properly. So not to plant a seed by throwing it, we plant it down there so that it can grow and give us good fruits. So the Gauteng instructors, Abo Happy Hadebe, Bo Ntatendaba, and Bo Paulo Max will be conducting this course at the University of Johannesburg, Banten Road, up until Sunday. On Sunday, we'll be giving certificates to those who will have passed. Can you see how important it is? So if you pass, you'll get a certificate. If you don't pass, because we have GDL referees who are new referees. New referees, we're talking of children that we got from schools. We will ensure that they don't go home empty-handed. If they fail, they get an attendance certificate to show that they've attended, so that they can show their parent. But those who will have passed will get a certificate for level 1. If you are doing level 2, you'll get level 2, 3, 4, 5, because we end at the province, we end up at 5. From level 6 and 7 is national that can do that. So all the referees we are within these categories of level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they will be given an opportunity to write an examination. If they pass, we'll be so happy. Then we'll look at the performance on the field of play and the physical fitness test in order to promote them.
Now, looking at in terms of the path on in terms of refereeing and the levels, is there maybe is it coordinated in such a way, for example, to say if you are in level 1 you can do LFA, if you are in level 2 you can do regional football, if you are level 3 you can do ABC Motsepe League? How does it align and how does it work?
Yes, of course. Level 1 and 2, the LFAs must do those tests. If I can tell you now, if I can ask any LFAs, whether the chairman or the referees committee there, how many referees do you have that have written level 1 and 2 in your LFAs? You will find 99% is 0. That's why we have to now accommodate all the level A's at the provincial level. Now level 3 and 4 is the regions. The regions must ensure that these referees write level 3 and 4 in their regions. And level 5 is the province. So if you check, as a province, we should be dealing with level 5 referees. But we have noted a gap that our referees in the GDL league, you ask them, what level do you have, Mchana? The child says, I've got nothing. You're like, huh? You have got nothing? Then I took it upon myself with the PRC and the development unit to say, hey, in this course, we want everyone to be included so that we can grade them accordingly. But as you said, level 1 and 2, it's LFA. So the games in the LFA are supposed to be refereed by these people who have level 1 and 2. But Gauteng has GDL League, which is run by the province. That's where now the province can now intervene and say, anyone who does not have a level and you want that person to be in the developmental league can come and participate. Hence we now have a holistic approach to this event.
So level 1 and 2
LFA, 3 and 4 regions, 5 province, 6 and 7 national.
So 5 at province, we are talking ABC Motsepe League and SASOL League.
Yes, of course.
Okay, no, it's clear now. For those who are interested, it's clear the route to professional football. So the accreditation staff, for those who wish to one day be accredited to CAF and FIFA, how does that work?
If you do national games, that's when you are promoted to the national panel from if you have level 6 and 7, because 7 is the highest one. Then you'll be doing national games. So when you do national games, your performance, the fitness test performance, and your performance on the field of play is regularly monitored because there's match commissioners that assesses your performance. Some are even suspended for poor performance. Some are even upgraded for good performance. So when you are promoted because of good performance, then the country at the end of the season will sit down and say, how many referees can we promote to FIFA? So that's when the review committee that reviews the results of or the performance of the referees will now come in and say, this referee has been doing well, and then that's when you get your promotion.
Now, like we said, tomorrow the workshop starts in Gauteng, level 1 up to level 5.
Yeah.
Now, if you can just briefly tell us what, because every course has a curriculum.
Yes.
At level 1, this is what you started, this is what we test you on.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of level 1 up to 5, just in summary, what things are key things that you are looking at and you are examining these referees on?
Right. The book is one, the FIFA laws of the game. But the levels of examination differs. Level 1, they do multiple choice. So when you do multiple choice, the chooser. When you go to level 2, there's no more multiple choice. And now you have to list, the offenses that result in a red card, but it will be minimum. Level 3, now the higher you go, the colder it becomes. Now it's very cold. That's where now there's thought-provoking questions, whereby you will also be required to write some reports because you are at the regional level. And then level 4 as well, reports is required. And then level 5 as well, it's more now intense where we're preparing you for national. So the levels differs like that in terms of the marks that you must get. Level 1, you get 50. Level 2, you must get 60. Level 3, just like that. And then level 4, 5, that's where you need 75. Because we expect you to do 25% of mistakes. Then we say you give, at level 1, we expect you to get 75. We expect you to do more mistakes because we're still cooking you. But at national, we want 75% as pass mark. Then we can make 25% mistakes, no problem, because we are also human being.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's how the level goes.
Now, you're doing this obviously to improve the standard, to improve the competency level. And I think I remember I saw you referring a regional league playoff game at Hlungwani. I think we're at Snaba Stadium. Now,
Yeah.
the big man is here for such a game at this lower level. Yeah, so you know what is happening in regions, you know what is happening in LFAs. What is your assessment of the standard of refereeing? Let's leave the PSL, let you deal with on SABC.
Yeah.
In terms of ABC Montepe League, your SASO leagues, GDL, Regional League and LFA, what is your assessment of the standard?
The standard of refereeing in those or in our leagues is not bad. The only thing lacking was this foundation that we are now intervening as a province to say, hey, there's no foundation here. When you build a house, you need a proper diagram that must be assessed by a proper architecture or the people who do the housing plans. So now here we did not have a proper housing plan. So now as new coming from retirement, we are now saying, hey, there's no proper housing plan. Let's fix this. And I'm so happy that my seniors have embraced that to say, this man is from there, he knows what he's talking about. So we are closing that gap by putting in the proper foundation with a proper plan, so that when we move from here going forward, we'll have referees who, it shows when you have lesser number of referees in Gauteng in the national panel. It should tell you something that something is not right. So now we are correcting that. So when you talk of standard, we can say it has dropped because how many referees are there from Gauteng? They are less. Now we want to correct that and bring more referees, but you cannot just bring more referees or microwave. You need quality, because at national you need to be proud of the referee. You say, don't want to send a referee tomorrow the referee fail a fitness test. Tomorrow the referee is suspended for poor performance. Then it is coming from your region. Then the question will be, what did you do to assist this man to be a better ref? Did you microwave him, or did you do proper development? So we want to do proper development so that our referees can stay in the panel for a longer period of time.
No, I'm happy with that because we don't like to see these things of people chasing referees around, trying to abusing referees because of poor performance. So I'm happy that SAFA Gauteng is taking steps to ensure that the competency level goes up. You were in the game for many years, and you've retired now, but still the road to professionalization of referees, we are not there yet. What are your thoughts around that, and what do you think needs to be done to ensure that the ladies and the men in the middle become professional?
Long overdue. When I was around 35 years, there were talks of having professional referees in our country. I was so excited that, hey, I will be full-time professional. But that never happened. And when the salary was mentioned, I can whisper, it was said to be around 40,000 a month. And when I was 35, very long time ago. But that plan never materialized. If you check, teams are training every day, every week, to try and improve performance. In our case, I have to go and work. After working, I have to go and train. I'm not full-time. I'm an amateur, basically, in terms of refereeing. What do you expect? Hence, you see lots of, suspension of referees. The performance sometimes drop, not always, sometimes drop. But imagine if you have full-time referees. The standard will improve, especially when if we can introduce as well VAR. Because VAR will now say, the referee could not have seen this, but let's assist the referee to correct this decision, because
dealing with a human error.
Exactly. So now bringing the two together here, it will help to improve the standard of refereeing more in the country, and we'll have quality referees that we can be proud of. Now look, we only had Gomez in the FIFA and CAF elite panel. Now we don't have anyone. It's only Abongile Tom who's coming, that he's going to the under-20 AFCON now, and he's also been invited to some World Cup training. So there's a chance that Abongile Tom can represent us at the international stage. So we don't want to have one at elite. If we can have one, two, because previously we used to have Bennett and Jerome at the same time there. So now we have one. It's a cause for concern. What are we doing as a country? We now need to ensure that we close that gap and have more quality, so that CAF have access to our games. FIFA have access to our games. When they see quality, they are able to say, who's that man? What qualification does he have? And then that's where we need now to say, he's very good if we have cooked him properly, and then we know he will never disappoint us.
Sir, thank you very much for your time. It's like sitting in class and being lectured. So I've learned a lot, and hopefully our viewers will learn a lot, and we really appreciate the work that you are doing. It's important that people who've had so much experience at the highest level are able to come back and give back and share this experience, and hopefully what you are doing with SAFA Gauteng in the future we'll be able to see the referees coming from Gauteng and reaching those levels. Thank you very much, sir.
Watch the space. I have a 13-year-old referee whom very soon I'll be introducing to ABC Motsepe League and MTC. Watch the space. That referee is very much confident, and watch the space.
Thank you for watching, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.